All right, Chainlink Friday. We're going into the weekend, which means the weekly close and the monthly close just ahead. So we're going to start off on the 4-hour, then we'll zoom out to those macro levels, the weekly and the monthly, take a look at where we'd like to close Chainlink, what we could foresee in the near future and the long-term future, and everything in between for the high levels and the low levels. So if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you want more help navigating the cycle, you want more help taking profits, securing them, making more, keeping more this cycle, consider subscribing through our Patreon Silver group. Get access to hundreds of hours of extra content, your ability to request whatever you want. And I'm in there with educational content every day. All right. Chainlink on the 4-hour. We're in a downtrend, as we have been, as we looked at previous videos, right? You can see our trend weakening and the bulls needed to step in. They've been trying. Even just yesterday, we had a high wick to 26 again, but that was short-lived. And now we've made a lower low here, just took out this low and the 100 EMA, that blue line. And now we flipped that to resistance. So we're a little bit weaker now than we were yesterday. So our new target is going to be this low zone. Here's the 200 EMA here, the top of the zone. Right? And then we have our lows, our first established low in the uptrend back on August 9th. You have a low here, like a lot of little price action in here. And then we're incorporating the 200 EMA because that is a big moving average. So it's around 22 to, I'd say, around 21. We need to hold that. As we zoom out here, this is a monthly kind of a target line. That's kind of a big line on the monthly chart. We'll see that as we zoom out. But we have well below here a 600 EMA. That's a big moving average, 600. But it is rising. Right? So give it another week or two, right? It likely going to continue moseying on up to around that level, $19.50, $20, something in there. That would be kind of my worst case low target, something around that 19 to 20 level. And again, we'll see more odds of that as we zoom out. But for now, right, we're in a downtrend by definition. We have an established high, a lower high, and a lower low. All you need is a lower high and a lower low, and you have reversed that trend. So this uptrend is now gone, at least on the 4-hour chart, and we are in a downtrend. So the trend is your friend, right? Downtrend says next target, next support level is around the $22 level. Now, Chainlink's been trying to prove us wrong, and I'm all for that. But guess what? If we close under this low, where's our target? Right, it's right here. So we close under 23. Right, not a big bold statement here, but we're likely going to drop another 4% or so, at least until there. Now, worst case, again, got about another 15% more down from that low-ish. Now, I'm not saying immediately, but that would be kind of our low long-term targets all of September, really. I know a lot of people are expecting red September. That would obviously be red, but it could take a month, right? And we might not even get that low. I think we have a higher probability of holding somewhere around 20, 21, something in that area. And again, that's more evident as we zoom out. So let's do just that. The daily chart. We're really still okay here. We're holding the 21 EMA. And until we break that, which we're right on it right now, we've got to be leaning up. Right? Because on the macro, the daily, we're still in a macro uptrend. Now that starts to fade. Those odds start to fade if we break the 21, because we haven't done that really since right here. We saw a couple days, about a week of consolidation under the 21. We might just do that again. The lower Bollinger Band's at the 50-day, which is, look at the price. It's just under 21, right? The previous range high here. So maybe we look at, this for a potential low zone. Right? Still somewhere in that narrative. 21 to 1950, somewhere in this box. This should hold. I don't foresee Chainlink going below 19 with a more than a wick, like a quick wick. So if you're real worried about something down in this area, or your favorite analyst has wrote Chainlink off and saying $2, right? Unfollow them immediately. Structurally, Chainlink is strong, still very strong, and I highly doubt that we're going to see much lower than this zone, if at all. And we shouldn't even be thinking about that until we at least close under the 21 day. So as of today, it's 23.45. So depending on when you watch this, it's already Saturday or Sunday. Where did we close? Did we close under here? Even if we do, it's okay. As long as we don't close 2. If we close 2, we're coming down lower. High probability that we'll hit this lower zone if we close 2 candles under that 21, just like we did back here, right? Close under the 21, 2 candles. It's just hard to get it going real soon. Now, this was pretty quick, but we went all the way to the 200 there. I don't think we would do that again. The lower Bollinger Band is up here. Prices are low by definition at the low Bollinger Band, just like they're high at the upper Bollinger Band. But based on this move and the macro charts, which again, we're going to get to, I think this is my low target. So not to worry. And this would be short-lived, and I think we're going to go back to new all-time highs as well, and we'll get more into that momentarily. But let's take a look at something, just food for thought here. If we look at our swing high to swing lows here, and we are, in fact, have seen a local top out of Chainlink at our high of 27.87, at least on here. Where could we expect to retrace? Well, look at the golden retracement, 618. That's that right in that wheelhouse. Look at this line. Now, this line is going to be very obvious on the monthly as we get to it. But the fact that you're seeing a daily Fibonacci retracement to right at that same level, that's a lot of confluence. And then look at the 0.5 fib, right? It's all this is starting to tell a little bit of a story here, right? You have our initial lows, our Fibonacci golden retrace at 618, our monthly line right here that we'll get to in a minute. Again, hold your horses. But all this speaking together tells me this is about as low as we're going right here. And again, if we get there, we could very well hold here and nuke up, right? When nobody knows what's coming, right? It might seem as obvious as all hell, but if there's anything to be expected in trading or in Chainlink, it's to expect the unexpected, right? So we're holding at the 21. If we bounce, right, our only target is to take out that high. Maintain our uptrend. Get a new high. As of right now, we have a lower high. As long as we don't take out this low, right? I mean, that's pretty clear as well, right? Look at that. We have a low here. Like, I mean, this is a key level for Chainlink to hold on the bullish momentum. Low close, 21 EMA, low close again. Hold here, or we lose some wind out of the bullish sales. Plain and simple. All right. If we hold, what's our high target? It's a high close, right? We're trying to hold that again. Bollinger Band, lower Bollinger Band here, right? They're pinching up again, just like we did here. But this time, we had to go all the way down to the lower Bollinger Band to get some more momentum back to the bulls. So again, that target, kind of that low zone that we talked about. All right, let's go out to the weekly. And now what do we see? Well, price action at the upper Bollinger Band. The EMA 8, we're well above the EMA 8, right? We're doing very well still. We're 10% above the EMA 8. So on the weekly, we're doing absolutely great. On the big scheme of things, like this is what we've relatively been expecting for, you know, week to 2 weeks, right? We looked at the W pattern, right? Resistance at previous range highs, and we said, well, if we mirror image this, we would expect some kind of a little dip here before actually ripping, right? Mirror image that would come us back, get us back to the EMA 8 again, right in that wheelhouse. Right now, the EMA 8 is at 2136. Again, is this ringing bells, right? This is why we start off with a short time frame, right? Remember that zone we put down here? We could wick down here on the weekly, tag that zone, and then just rhyme with what we did here. Come back here, and then actually rip much higher. These W patterns often finish much higher on the right side than they did started on the left, right? Chainlink did that many times back in 2020, 2021. We looked at that as well. Okay, so if we come down, and we're seeing a pattern here starting to form here, we have this bullish bar, a doji candle outside the upper Bollinger Band, and then it moved back down, right? That signals consolidation, and that's backed up by, look at our lower Bollinger Band. It's starting to hook in here, right? Just like we did back here, right? The move down starts to hook in. That's about it for that move. Same with back here. Look at the big move up here. Oh, look at the lower Bollinger Band. It's much lower. But you can see as we get up here, right, we start to hook in this lower Bollinger Band leads to consolidation. Could be 1 week, could be 2 weeks, could be 2 months, like it did back here, right? We don't know. But likely consolidation given the fact of everything we're seeing here, at least so far. Now, again, I'm not saying we're going down to 12 cents like some people think. Like a lot of people think Bitcoin's going back to whatever K, sub 100. I don't think that's happening. But I think Chainlink is due for a little bit of consolidation, and we need it, right? We need it to stay healthy. If you want Chainlink to have a chance to go to 100 still, you gotta give it some rest. In 60 days, it's gone up 150%, right? It's right in front of you. We're allowed to take some breaks here, and you need to remain healthy. Big move up, go back and test the EMA8, the 21. Big move up, go back and test the EMA8, and then continue, right? We could absolutely be $30s and $40 by November, right? Remember, if we're rhyming with this, something loosely along these lines is the expectation, and we could see a wick even lower, right? But this is kind of our lowest. Look at the low closes here, right? Previous support, flip to resistance, previous resistance, flip to support. Hello, like doesn't always have to be ultra complex here. Let's go to the monthly. Now we can see this line that we've had on here. Previous high wick, our initial and really our first test of $20 range by Chainlink back in August of 2020, just 5 years ago. New ultra all-time highs. Came back down. Where did we close? Oh, that line. Okay. Saw another close right there before bears completely took over, right? That's pretty significant just from that perspective. Okay, flip that to the bear from the bear cycle base build to new bull cycle highs. So I wonder where we closed at. Previous support, new resistance. Okay, we broke through. Oh, bigger bulls are waking up. But sometimes the bigger bulls need to shake it off first, right? Shake it off, build up, okay? Low, higher low. Okay, now we're waking up. We're just now waking up. Look at the moving average. Finally starting to sort out least to great. Getting real compact, accelerating trend. Look at the Bollinger Bands opening up. So in my eyes, we're probably doing something like this, like a compact version of this. So this is like our move now. And I would remember a compact version. I don't think we're going to spend 5 months. I would think 1 month. So, like, if we need to make this blatantly obvious, this is kind of my thoughts. September, something like this. Start out October, probably back to range highs, mid-20s. We probably close September somewhere in the 20s. I don't know if it's mid-20s, low 20s, high 20s, whatever. But then, October, November, December, right? Range highs and then some. Then we end up kind of mimicking that. Okay, so maybe we have a red. And then, 2-3 months, something along the lines of this effect, right? And we're not making this shit up, right? It's right there, right? So a little bit of volatility is to be expected between now and October, next 30 to 45 days. But then a rip to new highs. And if we look at the fib extension here from this move, well, the 618 takes us to new all-time highs, above $60. And again, we're not making these numbers up. It's right there. Why we did it back here. Why couldn't we do that here? Of course we can. Look at the Bollinger Bands, tightest in history on the monthly perspective. Obviously, this and then some. And we look at the wicks, right? If you just look at closing prices, shit, Chainlink's only gotten to $38. I wouldn't be complaining about, 2xing that, right? We get $70, right? For a close. Talking about closes. What about a wick? A wick could go anywhere. We could have a blow-off wick to triple digits. All right? Especially if we can knock it into 2026. But the tightest bands in history, the most organized Chainlink has been, arguably in history. Loading. Pre-alt season. Likely happening in Q4. right? We've said Q4 for a long time. Becoming popular now. But what's not to like, right? So ignore the noise. Chainlink going higher. And just look at the charts and evidence in front of you here. What's happening, right? Looks spectacular. So don't lose sight. Keep your flannel on. Keep the neon on. You don't have it. Neon. That's a real neon. That's probably the most question I get on that neon sign. Is that real? Yes, it's fucking real. How do you... What am I going to AI that? I've had that for 5 years. Okay. Let's get to our quote and card of the day. Thinking. The talking of the soul with itself. By Plato. So profound to think of that 1,000 years ago, right? Wild. All right, car of the day. Not 1,000 years ago. 2019 McLaren 570S. This is the best, in my opinion. For the price, it can't be beat. For a supercar under 150K, name one. Don't say some stupid Dodge Demon, right? I get those are powerful. It's not a supercar. A supercar for under 150K, I don't think it can be beat. I think it's the best value out there. Yes. The starter McLaren, the 570S. Sign me up. I like the 720S better, but it's another 100 grand. Like, you can't find a 720S for really under 225, 240. Even with high mileage, it's tough. But this one, this one's actually a little bit higher. I've seen their average about 130, 140 now. Pretty great though. For a supercar. Again, supercar. Under 150. Like, we covered a Ferrari that was more than this a couple days ago. This beats the pants off of that, I think. Some Porsches count as supercars, but I don't think all of them do. Like a regular 911, no. But like a GT3 RS, that's a supercar. Yeah. But it's not also not 150. It's like 350, right? So before you come at me with all this Porsche shit or this American muscle, Corvette's not a supercar either. Don't try it. Maybe ZR1. Okay, maybe we could talk about that. But all right, there it is. Car of the day. You couldn't tell, it's like my favorite starter McLaren. I think I got one. What is it? That's the 675 LT. I think I got above it. I got the 650S. Then I got the Senna up there. And down here, 720S. Bugatti up there. Aston Martin Valkyrie up there. Lamborghini. My favorite Lamborghini ever. The Lamborghini SV. Then Aston Martin. Which way I go? Aston Martin Vantage. I think that's all. Then I got down here, I got all my Ferraris. Not all of them. So all that rest is Ferraris. So I got 30 under there. Lego Lamborghini up there. If you haven't seen that, you can build that. It's huge. 2 feet long. Lego didn't make the Cybertruck, but some off-brand did. So I got that when it came out. I think that was like 2020, 2021. I think you can still find those. Lots of extra shit. All right. I'll see you on the next one. Have a great weekend. Holiday weekend. Probably won't make a video until Tuesday on Chainlink. Sorry about that. Also my wife's birthday weekend. Tell her happy birthday, mother. And I'll see you right back here with flannel and neon aglow Tuesday.